friends with one of the kinda popular girls. Ever since we were 3. For 9 years, we'd been friends, and it was no secret. But the super popular girls and boys thought it didn't count. My friend, let's call her Jana, and I had a darker sense of humor. I was able to make it into the popular group's meeting once. Jana dragging me in, and they were talking about relationships and stuff like that. Jana said something like it'd be funny if they actually broke up. After that, without thinking, I said what if they'd both been fighting each other and acted perfect in social groups. I personally know that she's been with this other guy, and he's known all along. I then got this evil picture in my head about them actually fighting and something happening. If you know what I mean. I blindly said my thoughts out loud and the popular kids never thought the same thing of me again. They saw me as the evil kid. They kept their distance. I'm still the quiet but evil kid. But the popular kids never made fun of me again. I was homeschooled. But since we are talking about quiet kids going deviant. Ages me 12. Kid 6. Brother 3. Once the kid who lived next door was being a jerk to my baby brother. He took away the toy he was playing with and shoved him to the ground. My siblings all started getting mad and protesting. I warned him to cut it out. He made my brother cry the second time he shoved him. Needless to say, I was furious. Without another word, I picked the kid up and threw him on the ground as hard as I could. He cried and ran to his dad, who told my siblings and I to tell him next time his son was a jerk and that he'd take care of it. I didn't get in trouble. I don't know if my parents even know that happened. To this day, years later, one of us brought this up and my sister said, "We were all thinking it. But you actually did it." I think it shocked them because I'm generally a peaceful person. I'm my family's quiet kid, well, me and my other brother, not the one who was picked on in this story. Looking back, I still kind of wish I had found a more peaceful way to resolve it. I know now that violence is never the answer, but sometimes violence is the only answer that certain people will listen to. But regardless, the kid next door never messed with my little brother again. I was once this awkward, shy, quiet kid in 5th. The teacher was telling our clown to pick up the socks and shoes he messed and pushed around with, and while the teacher was looking at our clown, I grabbed the last shoe and slid it under her table, where it was hard to see perfectly. 30 seconds after she started looking confused, and my classmates and the class clown was giggling, she noticed me grinning and said she deducted my test score. I said it was worth it though, and more started chuckling. Bro, I'm a quiet kid, and in freshman year a guy looked at my bag and said, "Bro, you could fit a gun in there." And I kid you not, my exact response was, "Wow, you don't say." Shakes the bag of metal I had for welding shop. "Do you want to see it?" I swear since that year, if I reach to my bag, even the noobers to the school flinch. Still funny because he obviously never heard a gun being shaken. It sounds nothing like scrap metal from the shop. I ever try to talk with the quiet kids. They're the most interesting in the class. Like a open book who nobody wants to read except me. Once one of them told me, after a test, "I don't like this place." He doesn't like to spend a lot of words in conversations, unless it's very necessary. I think no one likes school. Neither me. It's normal, it's a sentence that all of us said in middle school or after. But he continued it, "Nobody gives a shit about us. Teachers never ask me how I feel, or why I'm quiet. I don't like tests. I'm not good at doing them. I can do a lot of things but not tests. And what is wrong with it?" He never talked so much, and I was surprised. I know I said, but I was still thinking about what he said. I'm friendly with most classmates, but relatively a huge asshole to people I can't stand. I got along well with my quiet classmates and they tend to join the groups that I lead. We were in charge of making the props and part of the group were 2 girls, one's the quiet kid and one is the sassy pick-me kid. I guess the quiet kid got fed up with the pick-me girls stories and said, "Shut up BTCH." And I literally watched them with a Pikachu face. Ended up having to separate the 2 and dismiss everyone early, leaving me to clean up the mess by myself, lol. I remember just this year how some of the kids used to think that I was witch or something because I was so quiet, and they thought that I was silently reciting spells, which was why I was so quiet. And then it eventually led to me hissing at the other kids and chasing them through the hallways. It was a good year. Teacher asks for scissors, and quiet kid gets up to hand it to them with the blade facing the teacher. So he says, hand me the scissors from the handle. You could stab me. And quiet kid instantly retorts, if I wanted to stab you, I wouldn't use safety scissors. Class and teacher went dead silent. I'm the quiet kid they told me. Also me Sasagio. Shinzao Fawkin Sasagio. Scenario: party in class. In this case the quiet kid was my best friend, and he was the typical quiet kid. He was a bit shy, always got bullied by the other kids, etc. Then one of the bullies tried face pizzaing him, but the quiet kid took his arm with both hands. Fast as duck got out of the chair, twisted the bully's arm anime style, and when one of the kids tried shouting it to the teacher, who was in the room next door, he freaking threw the pizza slice right into his mouth and said how he was weak. The quiet kid looked like he was skinny and had small muscles, and the bully was the most ripped guy I had ever seen in person. I was shocked, and the whole class laughed, saying stuff like, that's why you don't mess with the quiet kid, and that's what you get. We were going to dissect frogs and he walks in, takes a big sniff, and said loudly and firmly, smells like mom's home cooking. The real kicker was we knew we were going to dissect frogs, but we did not know which month we would be doing it, and we thought it was in 2 months, but we got a happy surprise when he said that. Everyone broke out laughing, even the teacher. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.